And what is up, Soden Bowl Nation? This is your boy, the Alpha Heel 7. This is the Soden Bowl Network, SBN, and joining with me today is none other than the commish himself, S. Soden. How's it going, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Alpha? You can call me Sean. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, pretty relaxed night here in Colorado. Seems like it warmed up a little bit, so I'm in good spirits. How are you?
Good, man. We got a special guest, man. I'm pretty pumped about it. What about you?
I am. I'm a big fan of LeagueCrawler, man. These guys, I'll tell you, this guy puts in the work, and leagues like us and everybody else out there, you need somebody. You need to fill a spot for a team, or maybe you want to just kind of go check out a new league. I'll tell you, man, LeagueCrawler is the place to go.
It certainly is, and I've been kind of following them for a couple years here, and the idea behind all this is just phenomenal. It's such a great idea, and I wish that Matt would have came up with this earlier. But Matt, give us a little introduction about yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So yeah, as far as how long I've been doing this, it's been about a solid 5 years now. So definitely had some time to try to figure out what we're doing and get some traction for it. But yeah, at this point, we're just kind of rolling, and site's running well. We're getting a lot of new members over the last couple of years, and a lot of followers on Twitter and stuff. So it's definitely cruising along.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, and it's really impressive to me to for somebody like you to just kind of create this out of the blue and just kind of create a community for gamers to join up. And it doesn't matter what league you're from, what league you came from, what league you want to create. It could be the Xbox, the PlayStation. I think it's just really neat to have that organization that leagues like Soden Bowl or some of the other bigger leagues out there even can kind of go in and look at some of the talent that you have there. And not only for Madden, but you guys offer other games too, don't you?
Yeah, Madden's definitely the biggest, and the idea for LeagueCrawler really came up with, I was a commissioner of a league for a little bit and decided, this tool needed to exist. Hey, I got to jump off for just a second. Sorry, everybody. My daughter locked her keys in the car and the police just showed up. So hold that thought for just a minute.
All right. Well, on that note,
you never know what you're going to get with live TV. That's the beauty of the SBN, man. Like, people locking their keys in their car, and I mean, shoot, I might drink a couple beers and go outside and run around naked or something. Who knows, So.
Well, on that note, I guess let's go ahead and update some of the SBL guys, the SBSL guys. So we are at 30 teams right now have been selected. We have 2 more openings left. Let's get some more applications. If you're out there listening and you haven't applied for the SBSL yet, get your application in tonight. I'm going to review them again tomorrow. So is Alpha. At this point, the best applications, the final 2 applications, the best applications you guys are going to get in, whether you are just submitting that application now or you've already had that application in and I haven't had a chance to review it yet. I know I've got about 6 or 7 more to look through, but I'm going to look through them all before I announce anything. So tomorrow we're going to go ahead and announce those final 2 teams, and then we'll go from there. Alpha, what are you looking at for a schedule here for joining in free agency and all that?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because if you're in our Discord chat, it is blowing up. I can't tell you how many times I get tagged in the chat. When are we starting? I love it, guys. I keep up the enthusiasm. We love seeing you guys excited about this, excited as we are about this, because we have so many things that we haven't even announced, special things that are going to be coming out soon and just growing, as a community. So before I go into our schedule, I just wanted to mention that. But what we're probably looking at, we're obviously going to be starting at the free agency spot. So we are going to be unleashing this Monday. We're going to be, hopefully we can get the invitations out over the weekend, get everybody joined in. Once we get everybody joined into the league, then Monday, then we can advance to the first stage of free agency. That's right, first stage of free agency. Everybody's going to have an opportunity to sign free agents. Use your scouting points. So it's very exciting for us. So we're going to kind of like do that day by day. And then when is the draft? So tell us when the draft's going to be.
So I am looking at the draft next Friday night. Time is yet to be released because we have multiple time zones, including Cardinals owner who's overseas out in Europe. So we've got to figure him in and then figure everybody else in the league. So it's going to have to be something that kind of works for everybody. So definitely Friday night. Time to be determined. So we're going to kind of fish a little bit for times there from the community and then go from there.
And remember, guys, we're not going to be able to appease 32 owners. It's just not going to be possible. So we're going to have some flexibility from you guys. If you do miss the draft, don't fret. Just set your draft board. It's that simple. Madden has given us this opportunity to be able to do this in case you miss the draft in situations like this. So if something does happen, fellas, don't fret. We will be able to you're still in the league. You'll still be able to get, players that you want. So don't, get upset about it. We just can't please 32 people and make it all in the same day. So I think Friday is going to be a great day. It's start of the weekend, in the evening. So hopefully that's going to be a time that, you can jump on there and get your draft done, or at least, draft, or get your draft board set up. So yeah, that's we wanted to go over that with you guys.
And if you have draft picks, you're not going to make the draft, you want them, trade them away. I did hear that the Chicago Bears owner, J Cork 87, said he will take the draft picks off your hands if you want to get rid of them.
We have a little bit of time. If you're joining in just now and you're joining in for the interview with LeagueCrawler, Matt has kind of a little emergency going on. His daughter has locked her keys in her car, so we're kind of covering. Perfect timing, though. We get to cover the league and some of the updates. So, I just want to give you a heads up on that. But you did give me kind of an idea. So some of the things that I love that I've seen from guys is some rumors. I mean, you can't have a league without rumors, right? Like what type of rosters are you going to do, or who's going to be on the trade block? In our case, who are people looking at the top of the draft? Tell me some of the cool stuff, like the favorites that you have, or some of the ones that kind of stick out to you as far as like some of the guys that are posting of like who they may pick, or who they may well, it looks like Matt's back. Are you ready, Matt?
I am, yeah. Sorry about that,
okay.
guys.
No, you're fine. We were just kind of updating the league. We'll get back to that guy later, guys. But if you guys want to go ahead.
Yeah. Now that we made your daughter famous for locking her keys in the car,
Yeah,
she's all taken care of, though. She's good to go, though, right?
She told the police officer, she goes, if you don't mind doing this really quickly, she goes, this is a really big thing for my dad. He's been waiting a long time for this. So, and they were like, oh, sure, man, no problem.
Well, we're honored to have you, Matt.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May have to give you some Soden Bowl attire. I did get the shirt, Matt. Fits very good. I will shoot some pictures out your way, and I do have some helmets that I'm supposed to send out your way. I just haven't gone around to it yet. But back to the LeagueCrawler here. So, you got the inspiration to start LeagueCrawler. You were a commissioner of another league, and you just thought it was a good idea to kind of create a tool for all of us to use here to try to find owners, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I got tired of finding the rabble, out there in the community. I mean, everybody's been through it where you're trying to run a legit league. You spend all this time on it as a commissioner. It's an unthankful job. I mean, it's, you're doing it because you want to do it for whatever reason. And, you get somebody that joins your league and they quit, they drop all their players, they do all that nonsense that people do. It's stupid. And it got frustrating to try to find good people, you have a core usually, and you're trying to find that last couple members. And I thought, it'd be great if there was some sort of Yelp style site out there that could, allow people that are like-minded commissioners and owners to find each other. And so there was no tool that existed. So I just set a project out there to try to create it.
Yeah, brilliant idea. I mean, that it's great. Let me ask you this. So you create LeagueCrawler, you're running LeagueCrawler, you're donating all this time basically for everybody else's leagues out there. and people looking for leagues, and not only Madden but other games too. Do you ever get the itch to create a league yourself, or have you, or do you run a league right now yourself?
Nope. Nope, and nope. I don't even play in a league anymore. This is 100% give back. It's 100%. And I don't even know. That makes it sound philanthropic. It's not what it is. I originally created it because I thought the tool existed, and then it really, as soon as I launched it, I stopped doing my league and just kind of devoted all my efforts toward it. Part of it was because I just wanted to see if I could create it, and I thought it'd be a good thing. I thought it would make some money. It hasn't. It's one of those where it's, people go and they kind of get what they need, and then if it serves its purpose, they don't really need to come back to it very often, which is what I found. So it doesn't have a ton of traffic, but it was really just a matter of, okay, I want to launch this and see if it works and see if people use it. And I just want it to kind of be successful. It's a self-run tool. It's not like I do a whole lot with it, on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I just try to make sure it was running and worked, and so far it has.
So back to the financial part of it, obviously just operating a website in itself is a yearly cost. I can't imagine, what you've put into it development wise, because that website is really good looking. It flows really well. It looks like it sustains, as I said before, more than one game. So, from a development standpoint, I'm sure it is pretty costly. And as you said before, you don't really get anything back in return. You may get a couple leagues that use it for a little while, and then they get what they need, and then they leave. So what do you have set up right now as far as, some form of, is there a donation or something that other leagues can do?
Yeah, and been very fortunate to have some leagues and some members over the last couple of years donate money to the site. Had a really big, awesome donation from MBL come in a while ago that honestly has been what's kept us running for the majority of time. And then I've had several members over the course of time jump in and donate some money. As a matter of fact, if you go to the website, there's a page called I think it's called Friends, or I forget what it's called. I'm trying to think what it's called off the top of my head now. I'm blanking on it. But anyway, it just lists out all of the different people that donate over time, or that have donated over time. And then last year, midway through the year, we set up a patron account, where people can jump in on a monthly basis. And Sean, you're the only one so far. No, that's not true, actually. Nate, that runs OMFL, he jumped in too. So I've got two monthly donating members at this point, and then everything else has been.
Yeah, great plug for OMFL. Good bunch of guys over there. So I'm glad that they've signed up for that program. And any leagues out there, if you're listening, guys, I'll tell you, get in with LeagueCrawler if you can sign up for that. I mean, he really, if we need a member for our league, he tends to help us out, even without me posting an article. I just kind of let him know, hey, look, we need a guy to fill our Carolina Panthers team. And it seems like within minutes, sometimes he's got somebody ready for us. His website's set up so that we can find somebody, or that somebody's already found me by the time I've hit send on, I've made my tweet out into cyberspace, and all of a sudden I have somebody else hit me back looking for that Panthers team like in minutes. So yeah, if you're running a league out there, guys, I'll tell you what, I mean, only for a few bucks a month, you can really help out a guy like LeagueCrawler, like Matt here, and keep that website going. And, I'm sure any of the funds that he gets from something like that, he can also put towards developing new software and kind of keep up with the times.
Yeah, for sure. And eventually we'd like to get into something where we could do, like giveaways and things like that to kind of generate some more interest. And, right now it's just kind of keeping the lights on and keeping stuff moving, so it's not completely out of pocket as far as all that kind of stuff goes. And it's not super costly or anything to run it, but, it's nice to have some, just something to draw from to keep stuff going. But yeah,
absolutely.
I appreciate it. Everything helps. And again, the patron thing's new, but I got to really, really just say thank you to all the different people that have donated over time. I mean, there's guys that I don't even know that. There's one league in particular I can think of that I don't even think they're even around anymore, and they donated money for quite some time and really helped us out back in the day. So a lot of really, really old friends and stuff too that have come through that I'm very appreciative of.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
awesome.
if you sorry about that. I just want to say, guys, if you have ever gotten a great member from LeagueCrawler Services, go donate to his Patreon, man. He has an awesome service, totally free to you guys. He doesn't even. Do you have Madden? I guess we didn't ask that.
uh, I'm gonna embarrass myself if I tell you. I do. I always buy it every year, but I'll be honest with you, I freaking hate this one, man. I
Yeah.
hate 19. It's not fun for me to play. I don't play in a league anymore, so I have been. I think I'm in like year like 17 or 18 of an offline franchise on Madden 16.
Wow.
Mostly because I drafted this guy in that franchise, and I'm trying to get him in the Hall of Fame. So
That's hilarious.
that's where I'm at. But I do pick up and play head to head on 19, from time to time. But honestly, like my skills have declined over time because I really kind of stopped playing, and really when I'm not when I have time to play games, I'm usually working on the site. And so that's really kind of where my time ended up going to is putting that stuff together. So I don't know. I'm not as good of a Madden player as I used to be.
So back to the website, and any new plans or anything that you thinking about releasing for the future of LeagueCrawler?
Yeah, the most recent thing, and I started this a while back, was really just kind of getting a little bit more integrated with Twitch. And the idea on that is to kind of become an ESPN of sorts for just league gaming. Basically, where you could go to the LeagueCrawler, Twitch page at any point in time and just see content from other leagues just happening. And the idea is to say to a league, hey, you go pick a spot. Say you pick, from 9 to 10 o'clock every Wednesday, and you just fill it with whatever your league does, and the idea would be is to continue to fill up these spots on an every week basis, and a league would sign up. It's completely free, and you just go, and I set you up as an administrator essentially on the account, so that way when it's your turn, you go on there and you go and host whatever content you want to. So it might be your league's game of the week, it might be your league's draft, it could be a podcast that you guys are doing. You just go fill it with whatever you want to. And then my job then is to keep my website updated to where you can go and see that schedule and see what leagues are happening, what days of the week. And then also to just make sure that the tweets go out. So, hey, today we've got, 8 o'clock, we've got, this league going on. And then at 9 o'clock, we got this league going on. And just every day, just kind of continue to promote that content. It tags them in those posts, and then, and then on and on we go. So that's really what's kind of cooking right now. And then the thing most recently that we did too to kind of integrate with Twitter is to create on your league page. You can go in there and edit the details of your league page. There's an open team section, and you can go and fill out whatever teams are open on your site. And as soon as you do that, it tweets that list out to my Twitter automatically. So it posts on the site, bumps it up to the top, and then it also tweets it out automatically, that list. And then it hashtags it with Madden or whatever game you're playing, because it's for any game. But it hashtags it Madden, hashtags it with LCRCT. So if you ever want to just go see, let's say you're a player and you want to see what teams are open from different leagues, you can go look at that hashtag on Twitter, and it'll pull up, all that content as well. So just trying to make it, two birds with one stone for a commissioner, so they can go in and post to Twitter automatically and then post to my site as well.
Yeah, great idea. I'm just thinking off the top of my mind, it'd be really cool to kind of go in there and look at what some of these other leagues are doing, the MSRs, some of the bigger leagues, the smaller leagues too, because you can really, some of these leagues that maybe nobody's heard of, and they just want to kind of get out there. I think that's a great way for them to kind of show themselves. Hey, look, I've got this time slot on LeagueCrawler. There's going to be people watching, or maybe you just want to learn something. Maybe you see, MSR does some great broadcasts. So does the NBL. Hey, you look at some of their stuff, and
they do great stuff. And this is, big or small. My site is really there for anybody that wants to use it. I tell people, it's not like a forum where you're gonna have some administrator come in and tell you to stop spamming. I mean, you can literally use it as much as you want to. I encourage people to, just use the crap out of it. So, and same thing with Twitch. I mean, grab a spot and use it up, use it forever what you want to do. It's open.
So some of these new guys out there, if you're listening now, how can they get on that time slot?
Yeah. So the best thing to do is to head over to the website. Right on the front page, there's on the banner, there's a thing that says LCTV. Click that link, and it'll take you to like kind of a blurb about how to jump in, kind of what the parameters are, what we're trying to accomplish. It has the schedule on there, and then it'll have just some kind of basics on what you do to sign up. And it's really easy. I mean, just find a spot that's open that you think your league can fill on a consistent basis. Reach out to me. I'll put you on the schedule. I'll get you set up in Twitch. That way you can go, put the command in to host whatever content you want. And then I'll send you on your way. You guys just broadcast whatever you want to.
Sounds pretty easy. In closing here, Matt, I've got another question for you. Some of these new leagues out here, or even any advice you can give to them as far as, ensuring that their league stays successful, active, any piece of advice you can give to those leagues?
Yeah, I think the couple things that I've seen is start small. Get a good core group of people that you can roll with that are going to, continue on, right? So if you're trying to get the league completely full, that's obviously the goal. Before you really start to do that, try to get a really good core group of people that, are your main members, right? The other thing too is you got to come up with a really great rule system, and you have to make sure that number one, you as the commissioner, you adhere to the rules, and number two, you hold your core people accountable to those rules. Like you have to treat them with the utmost scrutiny when it comes to the rules, because if you get guys that come in and they're going to skirt around the rules, then you're going to have a league that's full of nonsense. People are going to quit because they don't want to play with that kind of junk. And if your core people aren't following the rules and you're not either, then it's chaos. So that's my biggest advice. Other than that, just try to make friends rather than enemies out there in the community, man. I mean, if you come in and you're just a loudmouth and you're a jerk all over the place, people aren't going to want to help you out. They're not going to work with you and stuff. And you might need some help along the way. And, you definitely get more, more flies with honey, right? So definitely, pertains to the community.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, there's a reason they call you the myth, the legend, right? So
you guys call me that. Everybody else calls me a lot of other things.
Well, Matt, it was a pleasure. We'll have to do this again sometime, again here soon, and go from there, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for hanging out with me while I let my daughter in the car. I appreciate you guys taking a minute to jump back and forth with me there.
No problem. And those of you out there, make sure you head on over to LeagueCrawler. Check them out. They've got it going on. If you need some owners, you want to advertise your league, you want to get on Twitch, perfect opportunity, guys. Go check out LC.
Appreciate it, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a good rest of the evening.
Yeah, you too, sir.
Too.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
So yeah, that was cool. So we were before Matt came back, we were kind of talking about some of the things with the league as far as some of the owners that are already kind of putting out players and maybe trying to trade up, trade down. What's kind of stuck out to you? Do you have any like ones that you've seen that kind of stick out to you that you can kind of give an owner a plug on? Or
Sure. So Arizona Cardinals, I saw that he was shopping Patrick Peterson.
Yes.
So he's obviously looking to get some more draft picks in Arizona. And I mean, Peterson's going to command a boatload of picks if he's looking for picks. So I'm thinking he likes what he sees in the draft. I have heard that he's looking at Bosa. So I'm leaning towards the Cardinals picking Bosa at number 1.
If you were to have a top 10 mock draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you? Can you give me one off the top of your head? Do you think you can maybe not a top 10, maybe a top 5? Can you give me what you think the top, say, 5 guys are going to go?
Bosa, I think Haskins is going to go pretty early. Aside from that, I haven't done my scouting on it yet. I've been so involved in trying to get these applications done that I haven't had a chance to look. I know that the Denver Broncos, the team that I'm controlling, I need a quarterback.
Right.
So I don't know what's going to be available to me, at number 10, I think is my draft position. So honestly, I haven't looked. I'm more of a free agent guy.
Yeah.
I never do well in the draft. Never, 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 never do I. I mean, I might luck out and draft a guy by accident that has superstar development, and then it takes me 3 or 4 years to even use him. But I'm more of a free agent guy. Give me something that I can use now versus something for the future.
No, I totally get it. I'm going to give you my top 10 draft mocks. So I am going to go 1 through 10, who I think is going to go. These are obviously just, kind of – obviously we're using a real draft classes kind of to offset that. But this is my top 10 draft class – or my top 10
Alphas, top 10 at 10.
I know, I need that, right? So my number 1 pick, I think you're right on target with that. I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to go Nick Bosa, and we kind of talk about the chat and talk about Sargent and him talking in there about shopping Peterson and who should I go with? Should I go with Murray? Should I go with someone else? I think at the end of the day, he's going to go Bosa. He's been talking a lot about him, and I think that's going to be pretty standard. I think Bosa is probably the best player on the game coming into this. I think it's going to be Bosa, and I don't think it's going to be close.
So let me stop you on that one. So you've got Bosa going number 1 to Arizona. Let's imagine what that defensive line is going to look like with Chandler Jones on one side, and then you've got the youngster Bosa on the other. And we already saw what Arizona can do in the regular Soden Bowl league just with Chandler Jones. I think he leads the league in sacks, and he leads by a mile.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what he's going to do with somebody like Bosa on the opposite side of Chandler Jones.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see part of me thought because he was using Rosen so much in the regular Soden Bowl league that he was going to maybe go like different quarterback. But at the end of the day, I think pass rush is very important in this league. So I think he realizes that. And I think he's going to put Jones on one side and Bosa on the other. So my number 2 pick, San Francisco 49ers, because Bosa does not fall to them, I think they're going to go Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle, Alabama. I think this guy is just a complete monster, and I think that he's going to the 49ers need defensive line help, and they need a good pass rusher. Although there's probably a little bit better pass rushers out there, but Quinnen Williams fits the mold of that defensive tackle that can stop the run and the pass. So I think having a guy like that is going to be pretty standard.
Yeah, that's pretty good pick for Seahawks too. Seahawks 26-37. That's a good pick for him. I can see him going defense too.
Yeah, so I think it's, in my opinion, if you look at the players and look at needs and everything, I think Quinnen Williams is going to be probably one of the biggest needs that they have. Being able to stop the run is going to put him over some of the other better pass rushers in there. So now with the number 3 pick, our buddy Shanks taking over the New York Jets, I personally think that he's going to go Josh Allen. Josh Allen out of Kentucky, the outside linebacker. I think Josh Allen fills a huge need for the New York Jets, and that's pass rusher. If you look at them in real life, they have got not a very good pass rushing defense. Their cornerbacks are kind of weak, but having that pass rusher that can kind of help get to the quarterback quickly is going to help those corners tremendously and help the defense tremendously as well.
I think you hit the nail on the head on that one with Hanks drafting a linebacker. The Jets do need some kind of, they need somebody in that middle pass rush area, maybe on the outside rush a bit. But I definitely can see Shanks drafting him, and I know he's been talking about him in the chat too. So we'll see. So New York picking the linebacker. Who else you got?
So the Oakland Raiders, right? The Oakland Raiders have the benefit of having 3 draft picks, right? But a lot of needs with that. So their needs are wide receiver, pass rusher. They've got a lot of needs, a lot of holes to fill with that. And I think they're going to go best player available. I've got them going Ed Oliver, I'm sorry, number 4, not number 3. I got them going Ed Oliver out of Houston. He feels a huge need in order to get to the quarterback, but also to stop the run. He's going to help boost that defense that let Mac go a year ago. So I think that fills a need, and it also picks the best player available at this point.
So you think that Oliver can maybe walk the shoes of a Khalil Mack a little bit, or is he a bridge gap, or I mean, is he that good of a player?
Well, I think that if you look at Ed Oliver, he's not big enough to play. In my opinion, I think he's going to play the edge, and I think that he can play either a 3-4, end, or 4-3 end. Or a 4-3 defensive tackle. I think he's very versatile, where he can stop the run and the pass. I think his biggest knock is his size, but I think he's going to become a tremendous pass rusher in the NFL, and I think he's going to be a tremendous pass rusher here in Soden Bowl Sim League.
So we have Phil, who is the Raiders owner, and I got to tell you, Phil is sneaky good at general managing a team. He does tend to grab the best talent available, and he does find a use for him. I almost think of a Bill Belichick as far as his player personnel goes with Phil. So, yeah, I could definitely see that. I think that would be a good pick for Oakland as well.
Yeah, so number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 1 year removed from they're in a very tough division. Let's not sugarcoat it. They've got the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers. So I think that their biggest need is going to be cornerback, and I think they're going to go I think they're going to go Greedy Williams. I think Greedy Williams out of LSU really fits what they're looking to do. I think that they probably would have rather had Josh Allen. I think that they're going to look at switching to a 3-4. But I think that shoring up the cornerback spot with the best cornerback available at this point is going to really help out that defense and take the pressure off the offense.
Yeah, traditionally in Soden Bowl, corners do come off the board pretty fast. So far, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have all defense through 4 rounds, right?
Yes, it's a very defensive. You even look in the real NFL, it's a very defensive loaded draft.
Sure, and Tampa, Jameis Winston, and then they have Evans out at wide receiver. So, yeah, I mean, that is a pretty good offensive team, so I can definitely see them going defense. And then shout out to our Bucs owner, Loaded Lunatics. So we'll see what Loaded does in the draft, but I think I agree with you. I think he's going to go defense too and grab a corner.
Yep. So that brings me to number 6, the New York Giants. And I think the New York Giants have a really good problem here. I think that they got to get their quarterback, and they've got first choice at this quarterback, so they can either go Haskins or Murray. So that's a good problem to have. I don't think he's going to expect both of those guys to fall. At the end of the day, though, I think that all these analysts are projecting Haskins. I think it's going to be Haskins at the end of the day. He's just a better pure pocket passer, in my opinion. He's got a beautiful deep ball, and I think that the Giants are falling in love with the idea of Haskins falling to them at number 6.
Yeah, that's a good pick for the Giants. I mean, they've got a good offense. Odell Beckham back there, Barkley in the backfield. I mean, Manning's getting older. Yeah, I think that is a great pick. I know the Giants also have a pretty good tight end too. They do need some help on the offensive line, but yeah, I think I agree with you. I could see Haskins playing in New York, although I would like him to slip down to Denver, but I just don't see him slipping that far.
Yeah, and I don't think that, with some of these higher teams, I don't think anybody really saw, if you look at it, the need. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are the only team that I could think of that could get one of those quarterbacks. San Francisco's got theirs. The Jets have their quarterback, and Oakland Raiders, unless he's really wanting to get rid of Carr, I think he's going to stick with him. And then Buccaneers, they're not going to go away from Winston. So I think that the Giants are safe in our league to be able to stay where they're at and get the quarterback of their choosing. And I think that ultimately it's going to be Haskins. He's got, to me, the better body of work, and there's all this talk with Kyler's height and all this stuff. I just think that he's going to be a better fit for that offense.
Sure.
So, number 7, Jacksonville Jaguars. Should I even tell you who I think I'm going to get? I mean, should I play coy with this and maybe throw out a name that I'm not going to get, or should I? What do you think?
I really think the Jaguars need a punter.
They do. They do need a punter. Probably with me using them, I'm going to be punting it quite a lot. So I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. But, there's a couple ways that I could go with this. Obviously, I'm not too happy with Blake Bortles. He's 26 years old, or I think 27 in the league. I think he's going to be right around 75, 76, 77. But to me, I can use her that, right? I can use her that type of quarterback. So I don't need to go to quarterback. I look at this roster. There's not a lot of need at any of the positions, right? I think they've got a great defense, got a great offense. But I'm a running guy, man. I love to run the ball. And at number 7, I would love to have Jonah Williams out of Alabama to anchor the left side of my line and become the new left tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This guy is the best lineman out there. He fits the need. I'm ecstatic if he falls to me and I pick him because, hey, everyone needs a good left tackle, right? You have to protect your quarterback, and I believe that that'll help me establish the run, which will help me establish the pass with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of his play action. Catch that defense kind of, getting sucked up into the box there to stop the run. I think it's a good idea. Jacksonville defense is among the best in Madden, so if you can control the football, you can, kind of limit possessions for the other team, maybe force them into some throwing, some 3rd and longs, some throwing situations, and let Ramsey kind of do his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that said, the 8th pick, it's the Detroit Lions. I feel like that they've got their quarterback. They've got some good pieces on offense. They have a terrible defense, and I think that they got one of the worst linebacking cores in the NFL. I think they're going to go Devin White out of LSU. This guy is probably, in real life, the best player in the draft. I think this guy is going to be Roquan Smith on steroids, not literal steroids, but you know what I mean. I think he's going to fill a need. I think with usering these guys, I think he's got the speed and the acceleration. So on defense, you can use him and help, cover the field. I think he's going to feel ecstatic of Devin White dropping to him.
So which team is he going to?
The Detroit Lions at number 8.
The Lions.
Yeah.
And the Lions we have not announced yet. So the Lions are currently open. Nice, a good team. They're in a tough division, but again, they are drafting pretty low here. Yeah. I like it. They do need some playmakers, and White is one of the best players in the draft.
Yeah, I believe so. So the number 9 pick, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills almost making the playoffs in the real NFL, but actually had really good play from Josh Allen. I think there's 2 ways they could go with this. Their defensive line is getting really old. I don't know if Kyle Williams retires in this league or not, but I think their defensive line is really old, and I think they need wide receiver. Looking at the draft, I just don't see a wide receiver that can go at number 9. So I really think that they're going to go Rashawn Gary out of Michigan. I feel like he fills a need, and he's going to be a defense. He's going to help kind of bolster that that pass rush.
Yeah, and the Bills do need some help. They do have a decent defense. They do need some playmakers, but I think you're right. There's not that many playmakers available to them at this point in the draft, and they still have free agency too, so they may be able to shore up kind of a veteran wide receiver that somebody just doesn't want to re-sign. So, yeah, it's kind of a tough spot for the Bills here, but we'll see what the Booty Too Good can do.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what he can do as well. Number 10. The Denver Broncos, the commish himself, the myth, the legend, Soden. Who does he go with?
Yeah, the bottom of the AFC West.
He wanted to draft Haskins for the quarterback of the future, but Haskins went at number 7. So does he go? Does he trust Kyler Murray? Does he go Drew Lock? Does he go cornerback? That's another huge need. Right? Because you've got Chris Harris, but then you've got nobody else underneath that. I think.
So the Broncos are in active trade discussions. We may try to trade out of that 10 spot and either accumulate a couple more draft picks or pick up a savvy veteran that we can throw on defense. That all hinges on what's available in free agency.
Yeah.
Is Case Keenum the real deal in Denver? I'm not sure.
And that's
we'll know. We'll know once the teams take the field and when he starts practicing against that defense. And the secondary, Roby's pretty good. He's an up and coming corner. But Denver does need another corner, another playmaker. Word on the street is Patrick Peterson's available. I just don't know if the Arizona Cardinals are interested in a number 10 draft pick for him, but I could definitely see Peterson coming to Denver.
Wow. So if they stay in that spot, I think they go Kyler Murray. I don't think they expected the Kyler Murray to drop to him, but I think it's too beautiful to pass up, and I think that's where they go with number 10.
Yeah, if Kyle Murray's available, then and assuming that nothing's happened on the trade wire or free agency, Denver will definitely draft Murray.
Yeah, and that's a nice thing about it. I mean, you got guys that can trade up and trade down, but I think our league is probably not gonna be as it's hard trading during draft, but I don't think we're gonna have that many people that like trade up or trade down. I mean, again, one thing you brought up is free agency. A lot of these needs could be filled through free agency. I'm just kind of going best player available along with what I think they could do. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of options there, and I think that I think the quarterbacks are going to drop in this. I really do. I think that
you did hit the nail on the head there in Denver. Murray, I know our general manager John Elway likes. So we may go in that direction. Should he be available?
Nice. Okay. Well, that kind of I'm not going to do any more than 10 because this was just kind of on the fly. But that's kind of what I think my top 10 is going to be, and maybe close to it. And if you don't like it, well, I don't really care because it was on the fly. So suck it anyway. But
yeah,
man,
the alpha heel unfiltered.
Yeah, I know, right? Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, I think we did a good job of hitting everything there. It was nice to talk with Matt. We'll be back again next Thursday. We do have a extra special guest that we're going to be announcing here in the next couple days. A little more Madden-oriented maybe per se, but I don't want to jump the gun here a little bit till I actually confirm it, and then we can announce it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to next Thursday's broadcast.
Yeah, and if you guys are tuning in late, we will be having the draft next Friday. I know some of you guys may be a little bit disappointed that we're not doing it earlier, but just keep in mind we don't want to rush anything with this league. We still have to fill the next 2 teams, which Soden will be doing tomorrow. We also have to be getting these invites out. We also have free agency. So just keep in mind, this gives us plenty of time to get all that done, plus having a good day to be able to have this draft on. So,
yeah, sounds good, Alpha. Good job. It was a very good chat with Matt today.
Yeah.
I felt like we hit everything that we needed to hit. Guys, if you have questions, post them in the chat. New owners, if you're listening out there, send your application in. I'm going to be reviewing them tomorrow morning. We have 2 more spots to fill. May the best application win.
Yeah, and one thing before we go, I want to give another plug to LeagueCrawler. Thank you so much, Matt, for joining us. And he does so much work, and it's all free. He does not get paid for this. So, guys, go out there. Go to his website. I think he said his Patreon page is on there.
It's right on the front page. You can't miss it.
Guys, even if it's $5, right? You're paying what, $30 for Daddy League? You can pay $5 to help out. If you've gotten even one good member from LeagueCrawler, which I know a lot of you have, man, this is a service that you don't want to go away. Just give him a couple bucks, man. Anything will help and kind of keep the servers going. And he puts a lot of hard work in this. And he, like he said earlier, he's not even in any Madden League. So this is a great service that he offers. He doesn't have to do this. I think he does it just because he loves the community that much. So we're all, heavily invested in this Madden community, and we all want to make it better. Want to give a shout out to Madden Accords. Those guys over there are great. Sup, Lenny, great guy. We don't always see eye to eye, but damn, if he's not one of the best guys out there, he's always wanting to help guys out, make other leagues better. Puts everyone else's needs over his. Good guy. Couldn't ask for a better person on the Xbox. So with that said, thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope we entertained you. Maybe next time I'll drink a couple beers before I come on. I'm actually more entertaining when I get a little tipsy. So anyway, With that being said, I am Alpha, he's Soden, and we are out. Thank you.